In the 8th century, there was a small kingdom called Sindh, and it was doing really well under Raja Dahir, who was the kind ruler. He was very just and fair. Most of the people in Sindh followed Buddhism, a religion that taught kindness and peace. They had a thriving culture with numerous stupas and monasteries buzzing with students and monks. A significant conflict arose on the Indian subcontinent as a consequence of the Umayyad Caliphate's territorial expansion and their aggressive expansionist ideologies. As per the accounts found in Chachnama and the writings of the Arab historian Biladhuri, Raja Dahir achieved victory over the Arab forces on two occasions, in intense battles during the dual conflicts at Debul. These confrontations resulted in the demise of the invading Arab leaders Ubaidullah and Budail, also known as Bazil, at the hands of Sindhi warriors led by Dahir's son Jai Sia. A pirate raid off the coast of Debul, resulting in gifts to the Caliph from the king of Serendib, modern-day Sri Lanka, were looted by Medes, a tribe of Scythians living in Sindh, also known as Bawarich, on high seas. This precipitated the Caliph's decision to order another expedition against Sindh. After a lot of discussion, the task was given to Al-Hajjaj, the governor of Basra, who ordered his nephew Muhammad bin Qasim to launch the expedition. Muhammad bin Qasim's campaign advanced swiftly. By enlisting the supports of the local tribes such as the Medes and also the support of Buddhist rulers of Nerun, Bajara, Kakakolak and Sivistan as infantry to his predominantly mounted army. In the meantime, Raja Dahir faced a profound decision: his people's safety or standing against the Arab army. He said, "I am going to meet the Arabs in battle and fight them as best as I can. If I crush them, my kingdom will then be put on a firm footing. But if I am killed honorably, the event will be recorded in the books of Arabia and India and will be talked about by great men. It will be heard by other kings in the world, and it will be said that Raja Dahir of Sindh sacrificed his precious life for the sake of his country in fighting with the enemy. So, as the fate would have it, the 70-year-old Raja Dahir faced the enemy in the battlefield." The battle concluded tragically, marking the fall of Raja Dahir. The savagery of his enemy dictated that his head be cut off and sent to the Caliph as a souvenir. Most of the women in the palace committed jauhar, but two princesses, Surya Devi and Parimal Devi, were captured by the enemy. The sun was finally set on the indigenous rule on Sindh. After Aror, the rest of the region fell quickly to the invaders. The House of Gold. This wealth was collected in a building 10 cubit by 8 cubits in dimension, into which whatever was deposited was cast through a window opening in its roof. From this, Al Multan was called the Farj of the House of Gold. Farj means literally the frontier, that is, the frontier of gold. As per the present gold and dollar rates, and assuming the room was only 10% filled, the gold would be worth $6 billion today. This temple was the Aditya temple of Multan, the sun temple. The battle concluded tragically not only for the king and his family, but a horror never experienced before was committed by the invaders on the Sindh. The stupas and monasteries were destroyed with gurus and shishyas killed. They took young girls and women as slaves to be traded in Arabian slave market, where this trade flourished in those days. The savagery was complete, and the local population could never recover from this shock. The two captured princesses were dispatched to the caliph as gift. Princess Surya Devi hatches a daring plan to avenge her father's death and also try to save herself and her sister Parimal Devi from being dishonored. At night, when the caliph came into the bedroom, Surya Devi told him that she and her sister were no longer pure for the caliph. She told him that Muhammad bin Qasim had dishonored both of them and in a way dishonored the caliph. On hearing this, the caliph wrote an order that Muhammad bin Qasim be wrapped alive in a raw skin of donkey, put in a box, and sent to Damascus immediately. On receiving the order, the local general put Muhammad bin Qasim as the way it was mentioned in the order. Muhammad bin Qasim died a torturous death en route to Damascus. When his body came to Damascus, the caliph opened the box and showed it to Surya Devi and said, "This is what happens when somebody dishonors the caliph and does not follow orders." Surya Devi then told the caliph how she tricked him into avenging her father. The caliph was furious because he was indeed tricked into killing one of his most successful and able generals. He ordered Princess Surya Devi and Parimal Devi to be tied to a horse and run through the streets of Damascus until they breathed their last. His orders were carried out immediately. This small historical chapter reminds us of the courage and sacrifice of our ancestors who upheld dharma even while facing extreme odds. Thank you for joining us on this story of tragedy, valor, and honor. Remember, our ancestors kept on fighting these barbarians, and that is why we are still here. If you found this historical journey intriguing, please like, subscribe, and share this video with family and friends. That will keep us going.